Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of our Bible story. In today's episode, we will be talking about the story of Samson. Yes, a lot of us know about this story because it's a very popular story. But in this episode, we will be talking about the series of events that happened and led to the death of Samson. Yes, so let's get into the story. There was this young man named Manoah. He had a wife, but she was barren. So after years of being barren, an angel appeared to her and told her she was going to give birth to a child, and this child would be a Nazarite for God, and no razor would touch his hair. So when this angel told her this, she ran to her husband and told the husband about it. And the husband prayed to God for God to make this angel come back again so the angel can tell them how they would train this child. So God answered his prayer, and this angel came back and told him that his wife should not take anything alcoholic, she shouldn't take wine, the child would not, his hair would never be cut, and he would bring the children of Israel out of their suffering. So the wife, just as prophesied, she gave birth to Samson, and God was with him. So he grew up to become a very strong young man. So one time, Samson saw a Philistine woman, and he said that he was going to get married to her. When he told his parents about his intentions, they were not happy about it because they were Israelites and they were not supposed to get married to Philistines. So the parents told him that, can't he find another woman? Is there no other woman in Israel aside this Philistine girl? That if he doesn't get married to her, can't he get married to another person? And he said no, that this is the woman he wants. So at that point, they didn't know that God was the one inciting that desire in him so he can use it to attack the Philistines. So when the young man Samson was very insistent on getting married to the Philistine woman, the parents decided to, okay, go to her people and pay her marital dues. So they went to the young woman's family and they held a ceremony. And while they were holding that ceremony, Samson gave a riddle to the kinsmen of his young wife and told them that if they can figure out this riddle, he's going to give them 30 garments. But if they don't figure it out, they would give him 30 garments. So they agreed to that, to the game. And when he told them the riddle, they couldn't figure it out, and they were supposed to figure it out in the 7 days of the ceremony, else they would give him the 30 garments which they have promised to give to him. So they tried, like day one, they tried to figure out the riddle, they couldn't. Day two, day three. So when they saw that they couldn't get this riddle, they went to the wife of Samson and told her that she should entice her husband so he would tell her the riddle, else they would kill her. So she went to Samson and told him that, please tell me the riddle, tell me the meaning of the riddle so I would know. And Samson refused to tell her, so she kept nagging him, kept begging him, kept crying. And on the seventh day, he finally gave in and told her the riddle. So she went ahead and told her kingsmen about this riddle. When she told them, they told Samson the riddle, the meaning of the riddle, and he said that the only reason why they could get this riddle is because they threatened his wife, that if they hadn't threatened her, they won't get the riddle. So he went out and killed 30 Philistine men, took their garments, and gave to the wife's kingsmen, and he angrily left. Samson was a man that he was a very impulsive person with a lot of anger issues. So when that thing happened, he left with his parents, he left the wife in her father's house. So he didn't go back with his wife. He left her and went back to his hometown. So after a while, when Samson's anger had calmed down, he went back to his father-in-law to take his wife. But when he got there, the father-in-law told him that he cannot take the wife because he has given her out to another man as a wife, and he would give her younger sister to him as a wife, since he has already given out his wife to another man. When Samson heard this, he was very furious. His anger heightened again. So he said that this time he has a reason to afflict the Philistines, that now he's not on the wrong side, that they actually did him wrong, that how can he marry a wife and they'll give her out to another man for a wife. So he went into the farmland of the Philistines and set their corns on fire, even the ones that were on storage. He set everything on fire. And after setting it on fire, the Philistines, hearing about what he did and knowing that the reason he did that was because his father-in-law gave out his wife to another man. So these Philistines, they went and they burnt the wife and his father-in-law. They burnt two of them to death. So when they burnt this Samson's wife and his father-in-law, Samson got angry again and he killed some men, killed some of the Philistines, and went to the hills to hide. While he was hiding there, the Philistines, they gathered their army to come and war against Israel. They camped around Judah to war against them. And then the people of Israel then came and asked them asked the Philistines that why are they preparing a battle against them, and what have they done for this? And they explained what Samson had done, that if they can hand over Samson to them, they would not war against Judah. So the Israelites went to Samson and told him to please release himself to the Philistines so that they would not have a battle against them. So Samson agreed, and when he came down to the hill, the Spirit of God came upon him and he killed 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of a donkey. He didn't need a knife. He didn't need any of that. He just used a jawbone of a donkey to kill 1,000 of them. So when he killed them, that case was closed and he became a judge over Israel. He judged over Israel for 20 years. And after a while, this man fell in love with another Philistine woman named Delilah. So this was where he met the woman that was going to bring him down. He was fine judging over Israel for 20 years until he met Delilah, a Philistine woman, and he fell in love with her. So when the rulers of Philistines saw that this Samson, their enemy, was in love with Delilah, they went to Delilah and told her that if she can entice Samson to tell her the source of his strength, that they would repay her back with silver. So when they gave her that offer, she went ahead to ask Samson that he should tell her the source of his strength, that what would make him become like every other man, what would make him become like an ordinary man. And he told her that if she's able to tie him with 7 grain bowstrings, that he would lose his strength and become like every other man. So she took 7 bowstrings from these Philistines and she tied him. After tying him, she told him that Samson, wake, the Philistines are here, wake up and fight. And when he stood up, those things she tied him with, they just fell off like a tiny rope. It was nothing, they fell off. So at that point, she knew that he still had his strength. So she was like, why would you mock me? Why did you lie to me that was the source of your strength? That please tell me what will make you become like every other man. And he said that if she ties him with a rope that has never been used before, that he would become like a normal man. So she took a fresh rope that she has never used before, and she tied his hands, and she cried out to him again, saying that, oh, the Philistines are here, rise up and fight and all that. And he stood up again, and the rope just fell off his hands. So she cried out again and said, you keep mocking me, you're not being honest to me. What's the source of your strength? Tell me so that I would know. I thought you loved me. Why are you keeping secrets from me? So he told her that, oh, that if you weave my hair, I would lose my strength. And that night she weaved his hair and called him out again, telling him that the Philistines were here, he should stand up and fight. And again, he still had his strength when he stood up. So she was like, for 3 times now, you've mocked me, you deceived me, but yet you tell me that you love me, you don't love me. So she kept nagging, she kept pressing him, and he couldn't see, he didn't have the wisdom to see that this woman wants his downfall. Because anytime he tells her the source of his strength, she would try to do that thing, and he couldn't see that this relationship was headed to his doom. He kept on with the relationship, and she kept pressing and pressing and pressing. Finally, when he got tired of her nagging, her begging, he opened up to her and told her that he has been a Nazarite from birth, and razor has never touched his hair. That if razor should touch his hair, he would lose his strength. So at that point, she knew that she had gotten him. She knew that he had told her the truth, and she went to the Philistines and told them that this time Samson has told me the truth, so come with your full army. So that night she made him to sleep on her laps, and she called a man to shave his hair. So they shaved up all his hair, and after shaving it, she called out to him just as she has always been calling, that, hey, Samson, wake and fight. The Philistines are here. And he jumped up just like before, thinking that the Spirit of God was still with him and he still had the strength, not knowing that his hair has been shaved off. So when he came up, went out, the Philistines, they got a hold of him, and he didn't have that energy anymore to fight them. So immediately they gobbled up his eyes, they removed his eyes, put him in chains, and put him in prison. That was how the all strong, all powerful Samson was captured, and his eyes were removed. And after his capture, the Philistines, they held a party to worship their gods, that their gods has given them victory over their enemy Samson, who has been attacking them for so many years. So they held the ceremony where they were partying, and while they were having that party, the people said they should bring in Samson so that they would make a jest of him, since he's the one they're having the party over. So when they brought Samson, they kept him between two towers, two pillars, the pillars holding the building. And while he was there, he asked the young man that was helping him move about, to please allow him to rest on a pillar. And the man allowed him. So while he was resting on the pillar, he cried out to God and said, Lord, please, for this last time, restore my strength so I can revenge the loss of my eyes. And God, our merciful God, restored his strength, and he held on to the pillars, held on to the two pillars, and brought down that building. So he brought down that building, and there were about 3,000 men and women in that building. So everything collapsed. He died, and those 3,000 men died as well. So Samson killed more men even in his death than he killed while he was alive. That was how he died. And after his death, his kingsmen came and took his body, and they buried it. Yes, so this is the story of Samson. I hope you enjoyed it. You can go to the book of Judges 13 to 16 to even learn more about the story of Samson. Thank you for watching this video. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and turn up your notification button so you know when new videos pop up. Bye.